Namaste. Today we are going to study the art of meditation according to the Bhagavad Gita. Many of you have asked for this. So I will just dwell on some points, but meditation is to be practiced. The state of perfect stillness is to be attained for you to catch the awareness and all this that we are talking of. But a very good understanding of meditation, its exact nature, and the ultimate state to be attained, the description of that is there in the Bhagavad Gita. So we will try to discuss some of these points here today. It will help you see if the meditative practice which you are already using is helping you move forward. Because the characteristics of the meditative mind are beautifully described here. Preliminary, of course, all of us know the preliminaries of meditation involve a certain disciplined life, a sattvic life. Without a sattvic lifestyle, it is very difficult to practice meditation. So these verses are there in the Bhagavad Gita. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Which means yoga, the state of yoga becomes the remover of misery for one who is well-disciplined in life, one whose eating habits, sleeping habits, sitting, walking, everything of that is regulated. Okay, it is not very haphazard. Today's youngsters, we need to actually emphasize on this again and again, because as long as your life does not have a routine and it is not regulated to a certain extent, meditation will be difficult. So these verses tell us that yoga or meditation will destroy your sorrow if you have this initial requirement, a well-regulated life. Then let us go a little into the state itself. See, Lord Krishna says, Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha. This verse also tells you the importance of what is required for attaining the state of yoga. Yogi yunjita satatam, the yogi is in deep contact with his unchanging inner being. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. His very characteristic is he is established in the self. Why the emphasis on this state again and again? See, the normal nature of our mind is, it is turned outward. It is searching for objects in the outer world. The senses, that is why they are so active and moving outward constantly. You see, a whole lot of things are happening right in your body, but your mind does not perceive it in any way. Please check this out and see. Your senses and mind, they are deaf to the flow of blood in your body, to the beating of your heart. You know, it's only the stethoscope which tells you how your heart is thumping within yourself. But your senses are close to that sound. Your mind is close to that sound. Why is this? Because the nature of the senses is it perceives what is outside your system. Your mind rushes out constantly. So the yogi has learned to turn both these faculties inward, his senses and his mind, and establish them in their source, the source of the mind, which is nothing but thoughts, is consciousness, the self, pure consciousness. That is your unchanging real identity. So he has learned to establish the intellect in that. One who does that, he is called the yogi. And so he is ekaki. He loves to be by himself. Not that he requires company, not that he has a social self, always. By himself, he is supremely happy. He loves to be alone. Because aloneness is not loneliness. When you are established in the self, you love to be alone because you live in full awareness deep within yourself. And in fact, engagement of mind in external things may be difficult for him. So this nature of the yogi is being described here. Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha. His mind and his senses have withdrawn from mere sense objects. That's why he is nirashi. He is not chasing objects. And aparigraha. He is not wanting to acquire this and that. His very nature is he is deeply calm, composed within himself, turned inward, and able to maintain a very stable intelligence within himself. His intellect is not clouded and not moving rapidly outward. No, it is very calm, very stable, and it is inward turned. So because he is deeply aware, he hardly needs anything to be happy. When awareness is in full bloom within you, your vital energy itself will keep you happy. You don't require an object to keep you happy. A state of perpetual gladness prevails in the mind. So it has no cause, it has no need for an object. This state has really, you have to taste it to understand it. That is why Vivekananda used to say, meditation is the highest state of existence. The mind meditating, this is the highest thing possible to the mind. And one who has touched that, got that experience even once, the very standard, the quality of your life will get raised. Because now you know that there are higher aspects to the human life. So it is so very important. It is the sanest state of existence, meditation. And one who has not practiced and touched this stillness, he is bound to be dashing around here and there. His mind is bound to be overactive. And this is what creates stress and illness in us. The mind has not touched its source. You see, if it's like not having a home, not being in touch with the stillness within you is equivalent to not having a home. When you don't have a home, you don't know where to turn to, where to go. So also the mind will not know where to turn to and where to go if you have not touched this stillness. That is why meditation is so very important in life. So the method of meditation also is beautifully described here. I would like to go a bit into this. See, the verses go like this. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya sthiramasana atmanaha nati uchritam nati nicham chailajina kushottaram. This is chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is especially on Dhyana Yoga, the path of yoga through meditation, attaining yoga or connection with the self through meditation. So what is the requirement? Shuchau deshe pratisthapya. In a clean, pure place, you must place your asan. Preliminaries, first thing, you place your asan. Pratisthapya sthiramasanam atmanaha. The asan should be immovable. In the sense, it is constant. It is not to be, once you sit in a particular asan, you should not change positions. You must become still and learn to establish yourself in the Atman. And it should not be very high, it should not be very low, it should be on even ground. And Chailajana Kushottaram, which means in those days, you see, they would use animal skin and then cloth, and underneath they would even use a straw mat or something like that. So today we have very ready-made asanas. Whatever you use, it is to do with a lot of vibrational energy also. You use an asana which makes you very stable and in which you can sit for a long time. Then tatraikagram mana kritva yata chittendriya kriyaha upavishyasane yunjad yogamatma vishuddhaye. There you sit and concentrate your mind and control the activities of the senses and the nature of the mind to rush outward through whatever kriya you practice. Upavishyasane yunjad, learn to touch the state of yoga in this state. And this will supremely purify you also. The state of yoga is supremely purifying because it is taking you to your source. If yoga, the practice of meditation is creating some form of stress in you, at once you must see what is going wrong. Because the very nature of meditation is it is deeply calming. It regulates you, it tones up the body-mind complex completely. It refreshes you completely. So this should be the experience. Then samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalam sthiraha sampreksha nasikagram swam dishaschan avalokarayan, which means keep your neck, head and body erect. You can sit in the cross-legged posture, the Padmasana, but keep your back erect, the neck erect, the head erect, because your spinal cord should remain erect. This is a requirement for meditation, because you alone have the capacity to direct your vital energies upward. No animal can do that, because no animal can be perfectly erect like this for a long period of time. So this is, you're capitalizing on this special capability of the human being for yogic practice. So Sampreksha Nasikagram Swam, sit like this with your eyes fixed on the tip of your nose. Why they say this is in a state of deep concentration. And this is Shanavaloki. Without turning your head this way and that, without looking around, learn to sit still like this. Then Prashantatma Vigata Bhi Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha Mana Sanyamya Machitto Yukta Asita Matparaha. So one should sit like this, Prashantatma, deeply peaceful and still. Vigata Bhi, fearless. Brahmachari Vrate Sthitaha, with continence as his woe. Because one has to be pure in order to reach this level of concentration. That is an essential requirement. You see, being pure is your real state. Remember this. And that is why that has to be owned. That has to be practiced. And when you perfect that state, you will see your entire body and mind naturally obey the commands of the higher intelligence in you. It will become natural, the spiritual life. So, Manas Sanyamya Machitto Yukta Asid. Controlling your mind, establish your chitta, your higher mind, your memory, whatever, in me. Establish it in me and remain absorbed in me. And then you see, you have the beautiful definition of yoga itself in this 6th chapter. Yada viniyatam chittam atmanyevavatisthate nispriha sarva kamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tada. When the well-controlled mind, yada viniyatam chittam atmanyevavatisthate, is established in the self, it does not wander about anymore. It has found its source. You have found your home. You have found pure awareness, which is the essential core of your being. That's the real you. Your mind has dissolved into that. Nispriha, you will remain untouched by everything then. And desire will naturally not come into your mind. This desire to run outward will be completely stalled. Nispriha sarva kamebhyo. All desires get dissolved there. And yukta iti uchyate tada. Then you are supposed to have attained the state of the yukta. The one who has touched his source, is in deep connection with the source, the yogi. You have attained that state. So you see, what a beautiful description of the very last point of human evolution. When you reach the state of perfect inner contentment and peace and full awareness, that is yoga. And you are capable of it. In fact, that is the goal of your life. Even if you get a glimpse of this, even if you get it once in life, it will turn your life around forever. Because then you know what you are capable of, and the highest reaches of awareness and consciousness will open up to you. And simultaneously you will understand awareness and happiness are in correspondence. They are deeply related to each other. In fact, happiness is nothing but an exponential function of your awareness. So then you will strive at becoming more and more aware from within, more and more conscious from within. That is yoga. That is yoga. So it is an entire scheme, a way, a path, a technology to unfold the highest awareness, to lead you back to your true being. You have strayed away, yoga leads you back to that. So you see how beautiful these verses in the Bhagavad Gita are. And not that you will at once get established there and then it's all done. Again and again the mind will race out. This also is there in the Bhagavad Gita. So whenever the mind is not stable within, you must slowly bring it back. Shanai Shanai Uparamed. Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstham Mana Kritva Na Kinchidapi Chintayet. Slowly and slowly bring the mind back into the self, he's saying. Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya. Your intellect, along with your dhriti, which means the higher will, you must bring your intellect to rest in the self. And Atmanyeva Atma Samsthanam Mana Kritva Na Kinchidapi Chintayet. Establishing it in the self, let go of the thought currents of the mind. Yoga is essentially stalling the thought processes of your mind. To what effect? So that the higher awareness, which is the foundation of the mind, gets unraveled by itself. So that is why this is, you see, the preliminary condition. Don't think of anything. Don't be carried away by your thought currents. So these are all very important points for us to understand how to achieve the actual process of meditation. Learn to sit with full stillness and awareness, and then you will bring about the same state in your actions also. If this has not been attained in the state of meditation, it is difficult to remain in this state of inner awareness during your actions. Please understand this. That is why meditation is to be practiced every day, even at least for a short time, so that throughout the day you keep the same tempo and you are able to maintain that state. Because most of your time will be given in work, isn't it? In the workplace, with your family. But you must be able to maintain these states of equanimity, of inner control, of inner balance, tranquility within yourself, in touch with the reality that you are. Then you will be able to function like a mature individual in this world. So this is the deep message. And a very beautiful illustration of this also has been given in one of the verses. Yatha deepo nivatastho nengate sopama smrita yogino yathachittasya yunjato yogamatmanaha. Just like a lamp, the flame of a lamp in a windless place. How it would be? It's unflickering. It is steady and constant. So also is the mind of the yogi, which has touched the self through the process of yoga. See what a beautiful expression of the highest state of existence, meditation. It is like an unflickering flame of light in a windless place. So also the mind is steadily in touch with the self. It becomes fully aware. It is the touch of Brahman within you. So, because Brahman is consciousness itself, your mind becomes fully conscious, deeply conscious. And that state is so refreshing. It gives you so much happiness that you will understand that meditation is indeed the greatest achievement of life. Meditation is indeed the culmination of human evolution. The ability of the human being to become divine. That is the actual whole purpose of human evolution. And that is what we should aim at. In the past, when all these things were not available to us readily, then we always thought different things we would feel were the goal of human evolution, isn't it? Many times it would be conquests. Many times it would be gaining more territory or, well, whatever, more power, more money, all this. But once you have tasted this inner joy, you will understand that gaining this inner territory, gaining a hold over your own being, and it makes you a real samrat. It makes you a real king in the sense, you are in charge of all of your faculties. So this is a characteristic of Indian culture, that it would say the real samrat is the swarat, one who's in charge of himself. He is the really developed human being. He is a real king. He is the very culmination of human evolution. So you will find all these ideas in the Bhagavad Gita. The great art of meditation is described there in chapter 6. Please go through that chapter again and again and study these ideas. It will help you in your meditation practice. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.